Hello, everyone, and welcome to the day 3 call of the Self Love and Care Challenge. This is actually my second time doing this today. I just got done the other call that I did live, but unfortunately, when I was doing my sound check, I muted and paused the recording so that I could unmute the participant and make sure that everything was sounding good and that the everything was looking good on their side. And unfortunately, when I thought I clicked the resume button, it did not work. So the first time recording this, unfortunately, didn't work. And I wanted to make sure that you guys still got your replay. So we might have people pop in. I just sent out a quick email saying that I'm doing it again because I'm committed to giving you guys that replay and getting all that valuable information and clearings and healings downloads to you tonight. So I invited people to join live for this one, but we might not get any because I sent it out like 15 minutes ago. So that's pretty short notice, but I wanted to make sure that I gave the people the opportunity to join live if they wanted to this time around. Because when I discovered that it hadn't recorded, it was like super funny. So I'm like, everything happens for a reason. Like this is part of like having a go with the flow, high vibe, happy outlook and perspective that I was like, oh, that's interesting that I'm going to need to redo this. I wonder what lesson I'm learning through that. So we're doing round 2 tonight. And first and foremost, I want to know how you guys have been doing with the challenge so far. So definitely let me know in the group how you've been doing with the first couple days. It's day 3. So how are you doing with saying I love you to yourself in the mirror? If there's anything coming up around that, we can also do some clearing downloads on stuff on Friday. So you'll be able to catch me live again on Friday evening to do another live session to clear any junk that's coming up specifically around the self-care piece. We've kind of moved through the self-love pieces on the first couple days, and then we're going to move into more self-care. So anything else that comes up during this entire week, though, you can bring to the call on Friday or send me a message. Some people like to send me messages if they know that they can't catch the calls live, and I address their questions in the call live. And you can ask if you want it anonymous. I can always just say, a person asked this or a person was going through that. So you can always do it whatever way you feel called to. So I want to know how you're doing with saying I love you to yourself and how you're feeling with the affirmations. How's that going for you? So definitely let me know in the group if you're having any other concerns or challenges that you want to deal with. Definitely let me know. I'm here to support and guide you during this challenge and to help you cultivate a positive mindset. So that's what today was all about with the affirmations. And it's so important to know that what we say after I am creates our reality. So if you say, I'm stupid, I'm bad, I'm ugly, I'm not good enough, I'm broken, I'm unlovable, I'm all these things, your brain will continue to prove yourself right for that, unfortunately. So we want to make sure that instead of saying those negative things, we're becoming aware of that. We're becoming aware of those negative ego thoughts that are in the back of our head so you can move forward and love yourself. So you can gain space in your life to switch that from I'm stupid to I'm smart, I'm intelligent. You can switch the I'm ugly to I'm beautiful, I'm magnificent, I'm radiant. So you can switch these things so that you can really resonate with the higher level and higher frequency version of yourself that does love you unconditionally. So we want to make sure that we're putting good things into our mind. So whether that be about your physical appearance and you want to start there, if you want to do it about your emotions, wherever your pain point is right now, that's a place to start doing affirmations with. And I really recommend putting Post-its up. So when I started my journey all those years ago, when I looked in the mirror and hated what I saw, where I was like, oh, like, and I nitpick my hair and feel like I need to wear my contacts more and be like, oh, my makeup's not like great and I should do this, or oh, I have a pimple and how can I fix that? And all those things that we tend to beat ourselves up around, that women tend to compare ourselves to those like unrealistic, high attainable, like magazines and unrealistic expectations that society has put on us. We want to clear all the junk and negative energy around those. So we're going to do some theta healing downloads later to support you in that. And we also want to raise your frequency on a conscious level by choosing affirmations that support you with that. So you can say, I love myself. You can say, I'm abundance. I'm strong. I'm beautiful. I'm absolutely incredible. I deserve the best that life has to offer. I'm powerful. I'm strong. I'm courageous. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm divinely protected and secure. I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm fulfilled, I'm lit up. I'm lit up by the people in my life. I deserve unconditional love. I'm worthy of success. I'm successful. I'm abundance. I attract abundance. Whatever resonates with you, start with those and share it with a friend. If you're really wanting accountability and support on this journey, it's so valuable and amazing to share it with people who you love. So when I'd have all those Post-its around my mirror, when people would come over, I'd suggest a mantra or an affirmation that would work well for them. If they were like, what is that? Like, what are your colorful pieces of paper that are all over the place? I'd explain what I was doing. And then it was really fun to bring some people on the journey with me. And I also recommend putting it on your phone or on your computer, wherever you have like reminders, wherever your calendar or agenda is, to put reminders there too. So when I used to work in the corporate world where I was stressed and overwhelmed and run down and just had so much pressure and responsibility and was headed towards burnout and actually reached my breaking point, I decided to switch things around. I was listening to so much audibles and positive things to like feed my mind with positive ways. So what we put into our mind, what we surround ourselves with in our environment creates us. So you want to make sure that you add in good things like audibles, like getting a coach or healer or a counselor or a mentor or guide to support you on this journey better. So I had all of that. And while I was doing that, they suggested these awesome shifts in my reality, little tweaks that I can make in my world that I'm now suggesting to you guys, because it's worked so well for me and it worked so well for all my clients. So I want to make sure you guys get as much value from this as you can. So put reminders everywhere so that you start to retrain your brain from those negative thoughts, creating space where you can kind of catch yourself. If you catch yourself saying, I'm stupid, switch it and say, I'm smart. And be so gentle and loving to ourselves during this process so we can move along the journey quicker. If we're in resistance and we're like, oh, fuck, like I did this again, and you're just like beating yourself up around the things that you're perceiving to be failing at, that's going to be a lot longer and a harder journey for you. If you're instead gentle and being like, oh, that's my little negative voice popping up again, it's okay. I'm aware of it and I'm shifting it to I am powerful, I'm strong, I'm brave, I'm confident, I'm amazing, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, and that you can choose to change that. So we're just making a little bit of space in your life, and reminders support you in so many ways. So when I was headed towards that breaking point, the breakdown period, where I was like, this isn't going to be sustainable or healthy at all, it's definitely not contributing to my happiness, I put little reminders in my Outlook calendar, and I'd have it set to like remind me every half hour. So I'd snooze it every half hour if I knew it was going to be like a really stressful day, so that I'd have the mantra, inhale peace, exhale love. Or I'm getting better and better every day in every way. Or I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I can do this. So that I'd see those pop up and my mind would be like, okay, I'm reorganizing. You're changing the blueprint of your mind essentially from that negative voice and the way that you've always had it to a more positive one. So I recommend you doing that, and share in the group if you're doing writing on your mirrors with I love you or with your affirmations with those like dry erase markers, or if you're doing Post-its, feel free to share this in the group. This is an amazing, supportive, loving community to support you on your journey, and people love to make new friends in this group. So feel free, if you're like feeling a good vibe with someone else, definitely add them as a friend, start talking with them, make new buddies in this group to support you when it's over, because then you'll get so much more value and long-lasting change by having an accountability partner and support over the longer term. And I'm also going to be offering a longer program with this at the end. So I'll just kind of put that as a little seed right now, that little sneak peek behind the scenes, that you'll have the opportunity to go even deeper onto this journey if you choose to towards the end of the week. So I wanted to let you know that that is coming up, and I'm so excited to guide and support those who are feeling really called to focus on this area of their life with self-love and care even more, so that they do just expand into so much more happiness and joy and abundance and bliss and healthy habits in their life. Awesome. So I'm just checking my notes because I'm like, before before I did it in a different order, and now I'm like trying to differentiate in my mind if I said it during this call or if the one before. So I'm looking over the notes, and I don't think I introduced myself yet officially. So I'm a happiness coach and healer. I love to empower women to get to their dream happy life. And mainly, I deal with people pleasers, perfectionists, workaholics, and caregivers, people who are always self-sacrificing themselves and putting other people first, or who just want to add more self-love and care in their life so that they can release those burdens and stress and worry and exhaustion and overwhelm, all the like weight and pressure that they've been holding on to, that they can release themselves from it so that they can move forward to their dream happy life, where they're happy and healthy and fulfilled, living abundant lives that they've been desiring and dreaming of for years. So I love that I've been able to have this journey in my own life, and that I've been able to move towards being the best version of myself, and that I continue to just grow and expand on my own journey, and that I'm now able to help and support other women be the best versions of themselves as well, that they can add more self-love and care and gratitude and boundaries and happiness and joy and freedom into their life, so that they can show up as the best versions of themselves. They can shine their lights in the world. And by doing that, by healing ourselves, by being the change we wish to see in the world, we're then able to support our loved ones, our family and our friends and our coworkers and our communities, and to shine our light even more to really raise the vibration of everyone around us and our planet. Because right now, hurt people are hurting people. People aren't looking at the things that they need to be within themselves. We tend to suppress and just move on from a lot of things that aren't good in this world. So instead of taking a look at it, we're just like pushing it off to the side, but that's not the correct way to deal with things, to make a better life for ourselves. So I encourage you to deal with whatever is coming up for you. I love that you guys were called to this group and watching this video and this challenge to heal. And we're going to get into those theta healing downloads soon so that we can heal and move on from those past hurts, so we can show up as the best version of ourselves. And to know that we're always a work in progress while simultaneously being a masterpiece, and that we're absolutely incredible in this life. So if you're unfamiliar with theta healing, it essentially deals with your theta brainwave. And every night when you go to bed, you go into your theta brainwave, just like you do the other brainwaves, and your theta brainwave is directly connected to your subconscious mind. So that's where all of your limiting beliefs, those blocks, the things that have been keeping you stuck or out of alignment lives. So out of your entire mind's capacity, about 5% is your conscious mind, where you want to be happy and healthy and fulfilled and abundant and just super blessed and have financial freedom and so much time and so much love in your life. That's like the 5%. So it's like the tip of the iceberg. Whereas the other 95% is just beneath the surface. It's in your subconscious mind. So it's kind of like the bulk of the iceberg that we're not aware of because we don't typically check into our subconscious minds. But a way that you can do that is through muscle testing. So you can see what the subconscious has picked up over your entire life and even in past lives. So that you can see what influences you've had, because we're all influenced throughout our entire lives by our friends and family and teachers and parents and society and TV. So there's unfortunately negative influences in there of stress, worry, overwhelm, fear, self-sabotage, lack mentality, self-hatred, all those things that hold us back and prevent us from being where we're at to where we want to be. So we want to make sure that we're clearing all that negative energy. And we can do that through theta healing to see where you're at with those subconscious limiting beliefs and get you to where you want to be so you can move forward towards your dream happy life. So a really easy way that you can do that is through muscle testing. So you can hold your imaginary $20 bill between your fingers, and you hold it just as if it was like a little bit of a breeze. You'd hold it with just enough so that you're holding onto your $20 bill. And I see that Diane joined us again. We unfortunately didn't get the recording right the first time round, but joined in for round 2, so that's good. And it's still recording when you joined, so that is wonderful. So everyone can try this at home with their muscle testing and just hold it with enough tension. We're not cutting off our blood supply or anything. It's just enough to hold a $20 bill. And the reason muscle testing works is because your muscles are directly linked to your subconscious and know if you're saying a true statement to yourself or a false statement. And when we say a false statement to ourselves, our muscles get a little bit weaker, which allows our fingers to break. So it's a true false statement. So when I say a true statement, my name is Laura, it stays strong. So I'm using my other fingers as like little pliers. Say my name is Laura, and everyone can try this at home. My name is, and say your name. So Laura stays strong for me, so it stays closed. And then you can also muscle test, my name is Jack. or a name that's not your name. So you can say it out loud, my name is Jack, and then it breaks because that's a false statement, so it's a no. And then there's other ways that you can muscle test as well. So you can also stand. So if this way didn't really work well for you, where you're like, oh, I'm kind of in my head, I'm not sure, you can also try standing. So really great thing you can do is just stand up at your desk right now, wherever you're watching this, and just put your feet kind of hip distance apart and take a deep breath. Feeling grounded and centered. And then you can say out loud, show me a yes. And just notice how your body's moving. And then you can get back to your center. Take another deep cleansing breath. And then you can say out loud, show me a no. And just notice how your body naturally sways. So a lot of people tend to go forward for their yeses and backwards for their nos. But it's also very individual. So you might go side to side. It's just important that you know what that feels like for yourself. So you're empowered to know what muscle testing looks like for you so that you can answer your own questions, your true and false questions. If you're in like a health food store or a crystal shop and you're wondering what the next best product or item is to support you on your healing journey, you can say it. You can say, this is the next best crystal for my healing journey, and muscle test to tap into your subconscious mind to see what it thinks and feels. Or if you're being triggered by your outside world and you're just like getting so frustrated by something that's happening outside of you, and you're like, why is this happening? Like, I've seen this 3 times now. Like, what is happening, universe? You can muscle test. I'm judging anger in them. Yes. And then you can muscle test. I'm judging anger in myself. And if that's yes, you can muscle test. It's time for me to heal this anger in myself. And then that's yes. So then you can do work for yourself to move you forward so that you know, okay, this is what's coming up for me. I don't need all these external triggers anymore. I'm aware of this, and then I'm going to start to deal with it and heal with it so you can move forward on your journey. So I love to empower my people to know how to muscle test for themselves so that you're never dependent on me or anyone else to figure out what's going on in your life. And it's really awesome because the more and more you get into this, the more you can see all of the subconscious beliefs that have been holding you back. And then you can work on it to heal it yourself or go to healers. I've dealt with healers and mentors and coaches and counselors ever since I started my journey all these years ago. And it is so beneficial to have someone who is that outside perspective, who can see something that you can't when you're in it, when you're stuck in it, when you're like, when we're in it, we see this much. Like, this is the road we're in. We're kind of in blinders, depending on how bad the situation, like we're just trying to survive and get through, or like keep drudging through life or getting through to the next thing. But someone else outside of us can see all around us. So it's so important to have someone who can guide us and help us on our healing journey to move us forward quickly in it, because outside people are just amazing. They can get us to where we want to be so much quicker. Like, when I know I want to achieve something in life, I go and see a mentor who's already done it, who has what I'm craving and desiring in my life, so that I can find out what they did, what pitfalls they had that I need to make sure I avoid on my journey, and what methods and strategies and tools and techniques and mindsets that they have to shift into so that I can upgrade my vibration and uplevel my paradigm so that I match theirs, so that I can get from point A to point Z in the amount of time that it would have taken me to do it like on my own would be like exponentially longer than someone else who can get you there quickly. So if we were going to try to get from point A to Z with someone, you can do it very quickly in the time it would have taken us, for example, to do it by yourself, A to B. So it just like collapses that learning curve by having a support system who's there to help us along our journey with coaches and healers and mentors. So I really encourage you guys to reach out to anyone who you feel called to working with. If it's me, great. If it's anyone else, great. I also have a Love and Light show that I do on Mondays, that's purpose is to support you and connect you on being the best version of yourself, to support you on your healing journey so that you can move forward and find the modalities and exercises and strategies and tips and tricks and people who can support you. Because we all need to work together to raise our vibrations, to heal ourselves, to make a better world for the people around us and for our communities. Because hurt people are hurting people. And it's time for us to be that change we want to see in the world and step up and heal ourselves and raise our vibrations so that we can raise the vibration of the planet and turn this around so that we're living in a peaceful, loving, abundant, healthy world. So that's my intention. And I love to support people through theta healing and my coaching sessions. And it's usually intuitively guided. So my coaching session here in Friday will be intuitively guided as well. I give recommendations and conscious level pieces. So the strategies I was giving earlier and saying I love you to yourself, doing the affirmations, doing the self-care pieces, that's the conscious things where you decide to do things and move forward. And then we're going to get into these healing downloads, which will clear it from that subconscious level. And you want to think of your root. So your first memory or your most painful experience with it when we're clearing these things, so we do clear it from that root so that your blueprint changes. So when you clear it from the root, everything else afterwards gets healed as well, which is amazing. And then you can switch from that negative blueprint to a positive one. And with theta healing, we work with your higher power. I'm essentially the middleman between you and your higher power. And I'm going to use the word higher power, but you can change in your head it to God, creator, source energy, universe, angels, guides, divine being, higher self, Mother Earth. Whatever verbiage resonates with you, you can substitute it in your head. And we kind of picture your subconscious mind as this like really outdated laptop. So if you had a laptop that had a gap in performance, like there's a difference between what it's doing right now and where you want it to be, you download new software. So we do theta healing downloads for yourself, and all you have to do to receive them is say yes. And it's a super easy process. Some people love to shut their eyes and just relax and breathe during the process. So they really just allow themselves to go into that theta brainwave state, just so gently and peacefully. And then you can just say yes to those healing downloads. So that's the process of theta healing. And we're going to start by muscle testing some beliefs. So you guys can be aware of your beliefs, and it's just an awareness. Because sometimes half the solution is knowing the problem clearly. So being able to muscle test things and knowing that for yourself will support you in moving forward in your steps. If that means you need to meditate on it or journal about it or get different healing modalities around it, then that's what you'll have to do. And hello to the new people joining. So we're going to get into some theta healing downloads and start by muscle testing to see where we're currently at for things. So if you want to say out loud after me and then pull, so you're pulling your fingers apart, seeing if you have that strong yes or if you have a no, and you can begin by saying, I love myself. And then pull. And again, we're not judging what comes up. We never raised our hands and we're like, can I have the really terrible beliefs where I hate myself and I'm attracted to abusive people and negative situations and toxic energies? Like, you never ask for that. So we're just bringing awareness to it. Because sometimes I work with people and we'd be giving them the world and they could get to their dream happy life and it would just be so amazing and incredible, but then they'd have to like sell their soul to the devil. So they wouldn't want that. So you want to make sure that you clear all that negative energy around. I don't want to like actually know what my subconscious is thinking, because it's important to know what we're clearing and to be aware that this is how we're moving forward, so that we're not beating ourselves up over those beliefs is essentially what I'm trying to say. That whatever comes up, if you hate yourself, if you discover these things that you're like, oh my gosh, like this is terrible that I have this belief. It's not terrible. It's just, a gentle awareness of what you have to heal. And that's the direction that you're currently being guided to move in to heal this thing. So it's not like this end of the world thing. It's an awareness that we can just be gentle with ourselves for being more and more aware of it as we heal, because that'll support us in our journey a lot more than really resisting, I have this belief. I can't believe I have this belief. Who gave me this belief? What happened? We don't want to get in the blame game or being a victim. We want to be empowered and take responsibility that, I have this belief. Now that I know that I have this belief, I'm going to choose to get rid of it and then do the work to clear it and get rid of it. So we'll definitely do the work to clear the ones that we bring up today. So after muscle testing, I love myself, you can muscle test, I acknowledge my strengths. and then pull. So I acknowledge my strengths. I can be my own best friend. I celebrate my successes. So now that we're aware of that, we'll start with the healing energy, and we'll just begin by clearing all the negative energy, all the weight, pressure, responsibility, and those negative thoughts in the back of your head that you have around self-love, that you have around loving yourself and unconditional love and being hurt by someone who loves you. We'll clear all of that completely on all levels for you by saying yes. And you guys can choose to say it in the comments if you want, or you can just say yes, especially if you're catching the replay. Healing energy always works. So it's your present moment whenever you're watching this. So you can always receive the energy by saying yes. And then we'll cut all the cords, contracts, obligations, vows, commitments, and promises to negative energy, experiences, abusive or toxic people in your life, and those negative ego thoughts that you've had around yourself. We'll clear that completely on all levels and show you who you are and what your life looks like, being able to love yourself and accept yourself fully and completely. And if you want that, you can say yes. And then we'll show you who you are and what your life looks like, knowing how to connect deeply with your true, authentic self so that you can see the goddess within you. You can feel that power, that courage, that strength, that love, that connection, and that you know who you are and what your life looks like, being in that energy and strengthening that connection within yourself, and how to move in inspired action to continuously deepen that connection, to feel that unconditional love for yourself, to know that you're worthy and deserving of receiving unconditional love, of giving yourself unconditional love, of feeling unconditionally loved by your higher power, by God, by your friends and your family and your intimate partner, and that you're opening yourself up more and more to expand and grow and receive this unconditional love, knowing that you don't have to do anything to receive it, that just by being born, just by being human, it is your birthright to feel and receive this unconditional love. And if you want that, you can say yes. And you want your higher powers, truth, wisdom, and understanding of unconditional love. And have that match your own so that you know what that looks like and what that feels like to just be you and receive it without needing to accomplish anything, achieve anything, check things off a to-do list. You don't have to do anything for anyone. You don't have to output or produce anything into this world. You can just receive and give yourself love unconditionally just by being here, just by being human, just by being you. And if you want that, you can say yes. And if you want to know who you are and what your life looks like, moving in that inspired action and being divinely guided by your higher power and your signs and that gut feeling, that intuition, that you can move towards your next baby step that will support you on your healing journey, and that you can move in inspired action towards a healthier, high vibrational lifestyle where you're happy and healthy, fulfilled, joyful, feeling blessed and loved and peaceful. And that you're open to receiving more and more of this as you continue to grow and expand on your journey. and that you know what that looks like and what that feels like. And that it's completely safe on all levels and possible for you to have that in your life just by saying yes. And then we'll show you through your higher power how you can love yourself, how you can create habits and rituals and new positive activities can be brought in and integrated into your life with joy and ease to support you in loving yourself. And that you can open yourself up to more self-care, to healthy habits, to wellness, organic foods, new activities that will support you along your journey. And that you know how to move in inspired action to receive that. And that you know that it's time and that you're safe and that you're able to do so starting right now. And if you want that, you can say yes. And then do you want to know through your higher power how you can acknowledge your strengths, your positive characteristics, all the amazing things that you've done in this world, all of your achievements, all of the values that are you, that you can fully and completely be proud of yourself and love yourself for exactly who you are, as the masterpiece that you are, while also knowing that you're simultaneously a work in progress, and that you can be happy in that present moment, being in that state where you're in that balance, that perfect harmony and flow of being absolutely perfect just as you are, while you're choosing to grow and expand along your entire journey. And if you want to know what that looks like and what that feels like, you can say yes. And if you want to know how you can be your own best friend, be your own cheerleader and support yourself and guide yourself and encourage yourself with affirmations, with saying positive things about yourself, with being warm and nurturing and empathetic and caring to yourself, just as you would a small child, just as you would your best friend. You can be caring and compassionate and loyal and loving to yourself in those exact same ways. And you can release all the trauma, negative energy, and negative emotion, sadness, hurt, loss, and disappointment and resentment around being negative to yourself, around saying things to yourself that you would never say to another human being, around times where you failed, where you thought you should be doing something, that you needed to do something, where your expectations and what your life actually wasn't matching up. We'll clear all the junk and negative energy that comes up around all those different situations and circumstances so you can move forward to the present moment, knowing and trusting that everything happens for a reason. Knowing that you're being divinely protected, watched over, and kept safe and secure by your higher power. And that you can have your higher power's truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding around the lessons you were learning during those times in your life. So that you can learn those lessons fully and completely, have them marked as fully complete so you can live without the current negative side effects in your life, and decide to move forward learning your lessons with the most amount of ease, speed, grace, joy, and love on your journey. And if you want that, you can say yes. And like a side note for the be your own best friend, it's important to know that by giving ourselves this love, it's not selfish. And have our higher powers truth around that societal belief where self-care is selfish or taking time for ourselves is selfish, or that we're taking time or energy away from someone else, to have your higher powers truth around the importance of filling yourself up. That we serve from a better area and energy when we're a full vessel, when we're happy and healthy and lit up. And to have that discernment between a people pleaser and the negative intention behind that with I need to do this, I'm obligated, or I'm expected to do this, I can't really say no, versus the energy of someone who is truly filled up, lit up, and in this love vibrational energy where they have so much overflow to give and support and generously support and guide and heal and help others, and to do it from a loving place without resentment, without building up any of those grudges or negative energy around doing something, being depleted or exhausting our time or energy or financial situation in order to support someone. We'll get that truth and clarity from your higher power so you can switch from that negative place of being a people pleaser because you have to that higher vibration, being open to expanding more and more into that higher vibration of being a fulfilled version of yourself, giving lovingly and joyously to those people in your life. And that you know that the most loving thing you can do to yourself is taking care of yourself and filling yourself up, because you can't give what you don't have for yourself. So if you're only loving yourself at around like 80%, you can only love to others around that area. But when you're filled up and vibrant and have so much more, you're able to give at a whole new level to others without all that negative energy underlying from feeling like you can't say no, or that you have to do something all the time, that you're expected, or that you're always that person that they go to. So we'll get your higher power's wisdom on that and match your own so you can move forward in that healthy way with those people in your life if you want to say yes. And to know the importance and how crucial it is to love yourself and take care of yourself, because you're going to be the one person who's with you 365, 24/7 for the rest of your life. So the most important relationship that you have in your life is with yourself. And when that's taken care of, you're able to just feed and fuel and nourish all of your other relationships, all of your other commitments that much better. And if you want to know how to do that and have that mindset shift through your higher power, you can say yes to receive that. And I love that. Coco, my cat, and I are saying yes. That is awesome. It's always open for everyone who wants to take it. So if you have other people in the room who are needing the energy, they can receive the energy as well. Awesome. And then if you want to know through your higher power how to celebrate your successes, how to be proud of yourself and love yourself for the big and small achievements in your life, and that you can move in that inspired action to reward yourself, to give yourself a pat on the back, to reward yourself with treats or chocolates or like an evening out or a bath, that you can reward yourself and treat yourself and fill yourself up for your highest, best good and your optimal health. If you want that, you can say yes. Awesome. And then we can double check through muscle testing those original beliefs that came up. So you can repeat after me. I love myself. And pull. I acknowledge my strengths. Remembering that strong is yes, that's a no. I can be my own best friend. I celebrate my successes. So I know that was good for Diane because she did catch the original recording of this about an hour ago. But Auntie, did that all work for you? Do you have strong yeses for all those beliefs now? And if anyone's catching the replay and wants to let me know as well in the group, you can do that. And then we're going to get into our question and answer period. So I know that Diane and I were talking about some stuff that I actually looked up a little bit in my intermittent time in between, because I wanted to do a little bit deeper of a healing because she joined live, and this is really going to support her on healing herself and moving forward in her self-care and those things. So also, if Auntie has anything, you can write in the chat and we'll also give some healings for that as well. So I did look up Lyme disease, and there wasn't anything in this book that I have with me, and that was like right by me, so that was the easiest thing for me to look up in like the 15 minutes in between our calls. So Lyme disease isn't in this one, but Candida is. So the information about that is the probable cause is feeling very scattered, lots of frustration and anger, demanding and untrusting in relationships, great takers. So you want to shift it and up level it to I give myself permission to be all that I can be, and I deserve the very best in life. I love and appreciate myself and others. And Auntie says, yes, thank you. You are welcome. I'm glad that shifted and changed for you. So if you have any other questions that have come up so far over the 3 days that we have been doing our challenge, let me know, and we'll also do some clearings and healings for you. And I can unmute you if you're okay with being recorded so that other people can hear it in the replay. Otherwise, you can put it in the chat and I'll just read it out. And anyone who's watching the replay, we're going to do the call on Friday. And if you have anything that you want to be brought up, but you want it to be brought up anonymously, let me know, send me a private message, and we'll cover that during the call, and I'll just say someone sent in this so that you won't be addressed directly. So on Friday, I feel I'll probably do it around 10 o'clock because I'm doing a wellness fair on the weekend, so I need to set up beforehand, and I want to make sure that there's enough space and time for me to do this, and then I'll actually have the energy to do it and be filled up to give you guys support and clearing. So I'll do it 10 Atlantic, so that'll be 9 Eastern on Friday evening, and I'll also send out that email for everyone else to get the links to join that Zoom call live. If you're not able to join it live and you want me to support you, definitely send me in those questions. Let me know if you want it to be anonymous. If you want it anonymous, let me know. So for the Candida healing, do you want to know who you are and what your life looks like? Giving yourself permission, that it's safe to give yourself permission to take care of yourself, to love yourself, and to be fully healed, and that you know what that looks like and feels like, and that you can heal, that it's time to heal, and that it's safe to heal, and that you truly do deserve and are worthy of the very best in your life and your optimal health, and that you know what that looks like and what that feels like. And if you want that, you can say yes. Okay. And then, can fear of rejection stand in the way of receiving these healings? If you say yes, you can receive those healings. If you're getting a little bit of resistance to it and you're like kind of how you were in the call before, we can do some specific healing around that. So if everyone who is on the call or watching the replay can think of their issue that they're having with things. So if you want to think of, in particular, you're thinking of your fear of rejection. So if anything else is coming up for people, and then Auntie said just feeling very scared, or is that scattered? Maybe healing process. So if you want to think of yours, and Martha just joined as well, if you want to think about your root, the first memory that you have of this coming up for you, so that fear of rejection, that pain point, that suffering in your life, if you want to think of your original memory of it, we're going to just lean into that so we can heal it from that root cause and change that blueprint from that negative one to a higher level, more positive one for you to continue with going forward. So when you feel into your root, when you remember those things and heal from those wounds, you're able to move forward from it and heal from it completely, and then change your life and your perspective on things going forward. So you can pause the video if you're watching the replay and you want to think of a couple different things, or if you could, you're joining live, you can also rewatch it later to do it on a couple roots of problems that were coming up for you. So you can just have about 30 seconds and think of that instance, that situation for you that was painful, that started this. So started that feeling of rejection or feeling scared or scattered or confused or any of those feelings. Notice that first time, that first thought, first feeling that comes up for you around that. And we want to lean into it, because the more we lean into it, the more deeply we can heal it. Because a lot of us suppress a ton of stuff down, especially women. We tend to suffer in silence a lot. And the Me Too movement has proven that, where terrible things happen to us and we just shut up and take it. So we want to move forward from that. And I know from my personal experience, a lot of those negative blueprints, those origins of being molested when I was younger, when I was feeling unloved by my dad, when I was scared for certain people's well-being in my life and just had like terrifying things happen. All those different situations and circumstances created blueprints that created limiting beliefs that kept me stuck and trapped and small in my life. So by taking the time to figure out those roots, and a lot of those I can like remember crystal clearly, those memories. So that's kind of how you can figure out if that's your root or if there might be a little bit more digging you have to do around that. And we can always do that in one-on-one sessions if you're not feeling comfortable to go on a group call to do that. So you want to think of that original instance and lean into that, even though it sucks. It's not a fun process. But that's creating dis-ease within our body. It's not in our highest and best good. If it's coming up right now, it's coming up because it's ready to be healed. And this is the space and time that we can heal it. So you can just lean into it, knowing that you're being sent unconditional love from your higher power to make this as easy as a process that we can, so you can move through it with more ease. And we're just leaning into it to get what we need to so we can learn those lessons fully and clear that so you can move forward in a different life path. So now that you have your specific memory, do you want to have your higher powers, truth, clarity, wisdom, and understanding of what was happening there? What lessons, positive characteristics, and traits you were gaining, so you can keep all of those and live without those negative side effects any longer that came with that lesson. Any sadness, hurt, trauma, abuse. We'll clear all of that completely at all levels, removing the trauma, cell trauma, and frozen energy and shock around that, and showing you what that lesson is so that it's fully marked as complete, and that going forward, you're learning your lessons through love instead of suffering or hardship. And if you want that, you can say yes. When we'll cut all the cords, contracts, vows, commitments, obligations, bonds, and curses that were holding you to those negative situations, events, or circumstances, so you can break free, let go of that victim mentality or identity, and choose to step into your power, being in control of yourself, your life, owning your worth, owning your power, owning your strength and courage and bravery, and deciding to heal fully and completely from that experience, and being open and currently receiving your higher power's unconditional love. And if you want all that, you can say yes. Yes, please. Little Auntie Judy needs that love. I have an Aunt Judy. Is this my Aunt Judy? uh, it only has Auntie showing, so I can't see anything else. No, that's cool. That's interesting that I have an Aunt Judy in my world. And we're just receiving that unconditional love from our higher power, receiving that love for all the cells of our being, healing completely, releasing all of that negative energy, any stress, heaviness, weight, pressure, or overwhelm around that. And you can even picture that energy just releasing from your body, If you want to visualize that, you can also see iridescent white light coming down into you to heal you completely on all levels from this and resolving any issues on a history level as well. So that this can be resolved, so that you can move forward and that you can be filled with unconditional love, that you can love yourself unconditionally. And know that you're worthy and deserving of this love. And if you want that, you can say yes. Yeah, you have too. Awesome. I love spreading the love. So, the last little piece that had come up for Diane's thing was I love and appreciate myself and others. So, that was kind of involved in that energy too, but we'll just strengthen that so that everyone receives what they need. In this moment, that all of that junk, that negative energy that they've been working through is released with the most amount of ease and grace and joy and love. So you have everything you need to be filled up and lit up. So you can love yourself, you can love others, you can share this love with your community and the world. So we can raise the vibration of ourselves, our loved ones, and the planet simultaneously. And if you want all that, you can say yes. And then we can integrate all of those changes, really hitting my third eye. Wonderful. And I love hearing how the energy is affecting you guys and the shifts that you're feeling and experiencing. So always feel free to share that with me. It brings me so much joy to see you guys shining and shifting and transforming in your lives. So you can let me know in the group or in personal message if you want. I love to hear all of the different ways that this healing affects you guys. So we'll integrate all those changes. I can also offer you guys a general healing for whatever else is ready to be healed in your body right now. And we're going to fill you up with your higher powers, unconditional love, compassion, joy, and happiness. And if you want that, you can say yes. And then you can just take some deep cleansing breaths. And just checking into our bodies, seeing how that energy is feeling, and drinking water. Being hydrated is so important for any healing work that you want to do. Because unfortunately, a lot of people are dehydrated and our body's made up of so much water. So we want to make sure that we're really nourishing ourselves and our body. So definitely take a drink if you feel called to. So we're going to start the self-care pieces tomorrow. And I'm really excited to dive deeper into that and then to come on again on Friday. So that will be 10 Atlantic, 9 Eastern, to do even more clearing. So if you know that you're not able to join us live for that, definitely send me a message or put it in the comments so that I'll add it to like a Word document so that I can go through and make sure that everyone gets covered during that call. And then I'm kind of feeling called to do a meditation now. So if anyone else wants to participate in it, you can. The call's been on for about an hour. So if it's getting late and if it's your bedtime, you can also feel free to catch the replay later. But we can just go into a meditative state to really fill ourselves with more of that love and to know how to connect with that love on our own, that we can do this at any time. So we can all just sync our breaths up together. So beginning with a deep inhale, the deepest inhale you've taken all day, filling up your stomach and your lungs. And then exhaling, even with a sigh if you feel called. Good way to end the day. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad that it's supporting you. So we can take another deep breath all together. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Just being mindful of our breath. Feeling really grounded and centered with each deep breath. And then you can breathe on your own time. And we're just going to move our awareness, turn our visualization over to our heart center. Just breathing, focusing on our heart chakra, our heart center. And we're going to send so much love and gratitude for our heart, for our love, for being alive in this present moment, for loving ourselves, for all the loved ones we have in our life, our parents, our partners, our children, our grandchildren, our friends, our coworkers, our communities, our planet. And we're just going to open up to more love from all of these sources. And you can picture, if you want, iridescent white light glowing in your heart center right now. Just breathing into that energy, that unconditional love, that pure white light. And we're going to take a really deep breath, the deepest breath we've taken all day. And then we're going to hold it at the top to expand a little bit more. So we can all take a deep breath together. And holding at the top, knowing that we're expanding, that we can hold so much, that we're capable of receiving so much. And then exhaling it out. And we're going to do another breath just like that. So a really deep inhale. Breathing a little bit more, taking in a little bit more oxygen, knowing that we can receive a little bit more than we originally thought, and holding it at the top of that breath. Feeling how good it is to receive more, to expand to that, to expand our container, our capacity in our heart to receive, and then exhaling it out. And then just returning our breath to our normal state that feels great for us right now. We're going to witness that white light in our heart chakra, in our heart center, begin to expand outwards. And it's going to expand to envelop our entire body, so that we're being filled and cocooned and shielded up by this unconditional love, knowing that love and light can come into our world and love and light can go out. Then we're going to expand this unconditional love, this beautiful iridescent white light energy, into the room that we're in right now. And we're just basking in this joy and this light and this love, being completely filled by it, being nurtured by it, and witnessing it expand out into the city that we're in. Into the country that we're in. And then witnessing it expand into the entire world. Just breathing in that energy. Knowing that we can receive all the love of the universe. That we have the capacity to be connected to it, feel it, be fulfilled and lit up and nurtured and loved by it. Just breathing into that energy. Then we can really feel ourselves receive more of it by picturing our heart just open up more. So as if there's this door in the back of your heart and you're just opening it up more to receive more of this unconditional love in your life. You're expanding for your highest, best good, your optimal health, to receive more of this in your life. To truly know that you love yourself, that your higher power loves yourself, and that you can feel this energy and expand and open up to more and more throughout your journey. And that you can send and give from this overflow of unconditional love to your loved ones. And if you want, you can think of your loved ones right now. Set your intention to share this unconditional love with them in this moment. And sending it out, knowing that everything's in circulation. And then in turn, you're receiving all of that love that others are sending to you. Sending our intentions to send this unconditional love, this light energy, to all the beautiful women who have joined our call tonight, and to those who will watch our replay later. sending so much love and so much light to them, and feeling ourselves receive it at the exact same time, being lit up by this amazing energy, by this wonderful feeling of love, and the sharing in the community within our tribe. Just really basking in this energy, filling ourselves up with it, and knowing that we can always return to this place. We can guide ourselves here. We can ask to be guided here, or we could watch the replay of this guided meditation to get to this place. And that we have a choice, and that we will choose to do what is in our highest, best good, to feel this love, to grow and expand in this love. So now we can move our awareness back into our body, back into our heart center, and take one more deep breath, just basking in this unconditional love, this iridescent white light, just so joyful and happy in it. Feeling so much peace and freedom and love. Then we can begin to wiggle our fingers and our toes, bringing our awareness back into our bodies. And if you want to know through your higher power how you can bring this energy back into your day-to-day life and how to navigate and travel on your path for your highest and best good, you can say yes to receive all of this and to have it activated within yourself, within all the cells of your being. All you have to do is choose it by saying yes to this love. Then when you feel called, you can open your eyes. And I really enjoyed that meditation with you guys. Let me know how that was for you. If you're watching the replay, you can also let me know in the group how that was for you, how the session was for you. And remember, if you have any other questions or concerns, any issues or limiting beliefs, or if you're muscle testing and you're like, oh, I have this too, but I want to get rid of it, let me know. Bring it to the call on Friday, or send me a message if you're not able to join us live, and we will make sure that we clear all of that energy for you. So I'm sending all of you guys so much love and so much light, and I'll see you in the group. Awesome, Diane. That was great. Feel calm and peaceful, surrounded with love. That is amazing. I'm so happy you had that wonderful experience. So have a wonderful night, guys. Bye.